She was fun, 100%. It was
Hey everybody, my name is Carly King and I'm going to be helping out tonight moderating. In case you didn't know, our lovely cheerleader senior directors are getting pampered right now. So I'm going to help tonight with our training. We'll get started here in just about 2 minutes on a super exciting topic. Excited you guys are here tonight. So grab a drink, bathroom break. We'll start in 2 minutes. Wow. Okay, everybody, it is 8:30, so we are going to get started. If you are just hopping on, my name is Carly King. I am just going to be here tonight as our moderator for our training. If this is your very first time joining us for consultant training, welcome. We are so glad you're here. Just to give you a little idea of what's going to happen tonight, and in just a second here, I'm going to hand it over to the lovely Blake, and she is going to walk through our training. If you would, keep yourselves muted throughout her training. You are welcome to put things in the chat, ask questions, and then we will kind of do some Q&A with Blake at the very end when she's done with her presentation. Let me also add, if you submitted a question via the Google form, I don't have access to those questions. So please just put it in the chat. We can still get to it there. I just can't see if you submitted anything ahead of time, but that's all of our housekeeping. We're so glad that you're here tonight. And I am super pumped, not only for our topic, but also for our presenter. A leader on my team earlier this week made a comment, and I don't know if you're feeling this, but if any of you maybe had a tough August, and you might feel like September has a hangover from August. I don't know if anyone feels that way with their calendars or with their bookings, but we are now headed into the fall season. And so building up our calendars, getting those party books as we head into truly the best season of the UBAM year. It's time. And so Blake, she is going to walk us through all of her amazing booking party tips tonight so that you all can fill your calendars and make this the best fall possible. So I am going to hand it over to Blake.
Hey guys, I'm super excited. So my name is Blake and I live just outside of Charleston in South Carolina. So it's just still pretty hot here. We're just starting to cool off. And I live here with my husband and our 2 kids. I have a daughter that's about to turn 4 next weekend and a little boy who's 16 months old. Just a little about me and my UBAM story. It's a little bit unique and kind of different, mainly because I am a solo parent 8 months out of the year. So my husband is a Navy rescue swimmer and also a merchant mariner. So he works for Military Sealift Command, which is a government organization that supports and supplies the Navy and Marines. And so he is traveling all over the world from port to port most of the year. That was a big thing that got me interested in doing UBAM, was just kind of being lonely and wanting to have some connection with other moms and adults and stuff like that. So that's kind of the rundown of who I am. I'm an executive on Book Cheerleaders and feel so lucky to be part of this team. I'm so excited to talk to you guys tonight. I'm not going to be focusing on getting bookings for an empty calendar so much as getting bookings like a boss from parties that you already have. Just really making the most of parties that you do have and getting the most out of them that you can. Do have an empty calendar right now. Rest assured that we have been there many times, myself included. And please go and check out the other trainings in the albums of the Consultant Weekly training groups. There's awesome ones by JC and Rachel. So check those out, talk to your team leader, and just know you're never going to be alone if you're someone who has an empty calendar. I've been there. Talk about maximizing booking potential from a party, because can you guys hear me okay? I'm getting like an unstable message, hopefully. But just let me know in the comments. I'll try to keep an eye out. But I'm really excited because I have been there many times and it's not fun. So we're going to get into it. The 4 main things I'm focusing on are how to get bookings through casting a vision in your parties, offering an instant reward, doing it through one-on-one inviting, and a personal connection. So the first thing, vision. You are the creative executive officer of your party business. You, when you sign up for UBAM, you have your own business, and with that, you have the power to be creative, really be a leader. Even as a consultant, be a leader in your business. I really recommend sticking with the team curated party templates. I don't personally stray from those, but I do recommend making your graphics personal. So personalizing those graphics like you saw with the Be Seen challenges. Okay, I'm not frozen anymore. Hopefully not. So making those graphics with the Be Seen challenges, and really personalizing your party, and then also getting creative. You can do things like I'm about to show you, where you're showing what a hostess hall looks like your average hostessing hall. So I'm going to zoom in here so you can take a excited about hosting with you. It's going to give them a glimpse of vision of what it's like to host with you versus anybody else that might be a consultant. If you don't have pictures of hosting halls from your hostesses, I recommend that you ask hosts to take pictures. I'm sure they probably already do, and put them on their Insta stories, so they might as well share them with your VIP group. And you can even offer like free shipping on a future order if you share in my VIP group, like something like that. There's even, I know in our team drive, there in our team tribe, there are pictures of like an average hostessing haul. Okay, so the second thing is going to be instant gratification. So people love instant gratification. I don't know about you, but a 20% discount on an order is way, 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 way more exciting to me than like a mail-in rebate. So I'm going to get into my example of this that I have shown here, which is a very recent example. But if you say offer somebody free shipping on their order from their friend's party that they're at right now, if they host a party of their own, they're probably going to be really excited, because free shipping, like who does not live for Amazon Prime and just free shipping in general. So getting something outright versus later is so much more satisfying. And you guys, it is so worth it to invest in your business. If you have not yet invested in your business through party prizes or some sort of booking incentive, I definitely would recommend that you do. And I'm just going to really quick kind of show you a visual example of why this is so beneficial. So if you give someone free shipping on an order, you might not be able to see this, and that costs you $6, and it also could be backwards, but that leads to them having a party that is $300. You're going to get $75 in commission, okay? And so then from that party, if you get a couple bookings off of it, you're getting also more commission, maybe $100. Maybe it was a $400 party, and maybe it was another $300 party. So you got another $75 commission from that party. So that $6 was definitely $6 well spent, not just well spent, but invested into your business. So I'm going to show you the example that I did. I did a 25% discount recently because I will tell you, I am from the West Coast originally, but when I joined UBAM, I was on the East Coast. I'm not in school or anything anymore, so I didn't know a whole lot of people on the East Coast when I very first started. And so it took me almost 2 years to really get into the East Coast time zone. This was really recently. And I was so aggressively wanting to get into the East Coast market that I offered 25%. I hope I'm not freezing again. But I hope I just didn't freeze, but I offered a 25% discount, and that doesn't hurt as much when you've got that team leader override. It doesn't really hurt at all because you're not losing money, but even just doing 15%, 20%, or free shipping is super awesome and gives people that instant gratification that is so exciting for them to want to book a party. I hope I'm doing okay on time. Okay. All right, so the next thing that I want to talk about is asking them one-on-one. This is something that we coach our hosts to do. We ask them to send out, what am I trying to say? Individual messages to people asking them if they want to invite. So if we post, our hostess post in our party, and we're just kind of generally asking or generally sending it out there for people to host, then we're not really maximizing the potential there in that party, which is the same thing. Like if you have a host that puts up a post on their party page, on their personal page, like, hey, I'm hosting a party, that's probably not, we all know that that's probably not going to get very much interest versus the one-on-one messages that we coach them to send out. So when you are individually asking them one-on-one if they would like to host, they really feel special, and it does make a difference. It's just like, it's the same thing that we talk to our hosts about. So an example of this is very recently I just had some family pictures done, and that was all because this lady that has taken our pictures before, she reached out to me and was like, hey, I'm doing and I like immediately was interested, way more than, like, I see her stuff in my feed sometime, and yeah, family pictures are kind of on my mind, but her photography page, or even getting an email from Shutterfly or something like that. So getting them excited about hosting with you is more likely when you're asking them one-on-one and giving them that opportunity one-on-one. So I'll just zoom in here so you can see kind of, I really like to see some wording. So I had said, you know, I was so excited that she got a Don't Tickle book, and also the mini books are so fun. I said we should do a party together because it is something you're doing together. So you can get a bunch of the others you wanted for free. Have you ever hosted a party like this? And I love ending with a question, because like that is different than do you want to do it? Like, have you ever hosted a party like this before? Or you can say, would it be okay if I sent over the rewards chart so you can check it out? But I do love using the wording together versus do you want to host a party? Because it's kind of, I don't know, it just doesn't feel as friendly or inviting as saying together, because you really are doing it together. They are a co-host to your party. So the next thing is personal connection. You guys, this is huge. This, if you're not doing this, honestly, the other three things that I just talked about are just not going to be nearly as effective as they would be if you're doing this. This is so key, and I wanted to end with this versus the other three just to stress it, because it really, I mean, it really is the foundation. And the pre-party connection does not, I said it's not just about the messenger link, but what I mean is it doesn't stop there. So we put the thumbs up post, or we say, hey, I sent you some recommendations to your inbox, like click this link. It does not stop there. That is just the beginning of that pre-party connection. And I know that it can be tough. I am one of the most shy people around new people that I don't know. I'm very shy. I, get kind of, I totally did it. It is hard, but it is something that if you commit to doing it, it's just going to get easier, and you'll probably enjoy doing it. It's just going to make for a more fun party for them and you. End up finding your next host, your next recruit. So this is something that it's so key, and we do this all the time. Like we chat with people in the checkout line, or I don't know, at Chick-fil-A or whatever. So it is something that is human nature to do. They're not going to be weirded out by you doing it, even though it might feel like, if it's your first time really kind of tackling it, it might feel a little bit intense, but it will get easier. So even thinking back to like how your team leader or whoever sponsored you interacted with you at your party. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by the comments. Even if you think back to people that made you feel really great during your party, whether that was your sponsor or your team leader, that can really go a lot with your mindset. So this helps really develop the like, know, and trust factor. I feel like a personal connection is all about getting that like, know, and trust factor fostered. So here's just an example of a conversation. Hopefully you're kind of not going to read it out loud, piece by piece to you, but just kind of getting to know a little bit about them. One thing that she pointed out was that she is actually a foster parent. So she had commented on the recommendation post saying that she had an 8-month, and she did not say that was her foster child. Not that it super makes a difference, but it is good to know. It's great knowing that she's had other foster children up to age 2. That might be something that maybe you have specific books you want to recommend, or just books that they can kind of grow into, or that could be good for future children that they're fostering, and just being able to talk about that in a personal way, and just kind of she's clearly comfortable talking about, and people love to talk about themselves, and I think it's actually just naturally grows into or goes towards the direction of booking a party, where she talked about the All Better book and all this other stuff. And then she had commented, it was either commented on the host coaching post or in her survey, that she was interested in hosting. And so I had just brought it up, and she was definitely interested, and it made, I think, having that like, know, and trust factor is really powerful when they have hesitations and you're able to speak to those objections, having that credibility. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I am a fast talker, so I feel like I finished earlier than I was supposed to.
No, that was wonderful. There's no supposed to. That was so great and so super helpful. Here is what I loved about all of your tips. You know, we know on the Cheerleaders and Code team, we have amazing resources, like our parties are killer, our videos are killer, all these things. But ultimately, it's about that relationship and that intentionality in your party and taking all of those resources and then really going in those individual relationships. And so I think you had so many fantastic tips that I took some great notes over here. I will agree. We said it in the thread and you said it. I loved your wording about doing things together. That I loved so much. And it's so different from, would you want to host a party, which sounds like work. So that was great. Okay, so I wrote down a couple of questions. If you have a question, pop it in the chat and we'll go through it, but I picked a few in the chat so far. So number one, you didn't talk about this, but if you could, I know a lot of people have the strategy of trying to convert prize winners into hosts. How do you like to take a prize winner and get her turned into a host?
Sorry, it froze for a second, but were you saying I didn't talk about winners, but how do I convert them?
Prize winners, yeah. So your party prize winners, how do you try and convert them into hosts? Sorry, am I freezing?
I think it's better now. I'm sorry, you guys. It's not my fault. Let me turn this off too. Maybe that would help. Okay, so can you still see me or no? Not really.
Sure, I can hear you. There you are.
Okay, so I was definitely focusing on ways other than relying on the host coaching post and prize winners. I think prize winners are such a great way, and that's again very similar to investing in your business. So you definitely 100% I think should offer booking incentives. The way I do it, it kind of depends, to be perfectly honest with you, what my calendar is looking like. Sometimes it's like I give them both options, like free shipping and that booking incentive, which I guess is that instant gratification that I just didn't really understand how to word until recently as like more advertising on the party post. But I will usually just say, like, if I'm just kind of having a regular calendar month, I'll just say, also, I always offer my prize winners the chance to I always offer my prize winners a $25 book credit, or however much. I'll say a $25 book credit if you want to host a party. Is that something you might be interested in? But sometimes, like, it's an option or it's the party prize. It really just kind of depends on the situation with my calendar, which I think is also really important to know. Just with all of these things, you don't necessarily have to all thing at your party. You're never required to like spend that money. If your calendar's looking good, you could do something with the hosting hall, and just giving them that vision of what hosting a party could be like and look like. But again, I think party prizes, being able to turn them into bookings, is really, really goes back to that personal connection. I think it feels more exciting to them when they're excited about, hosting with you, getting UBAM books for free from you or through you, versus just, getting free UBAM books.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that was a really great point that you brought up in your presentation. Like, I loved that you were talking about how there was kind of a market you were really trying to get into. And so you kind of offered a really extreme discount in a party, but that's just because at that point in time, that was something it was kind of a business goal that you had and you really wanted to do. And I think that's really important in any kind of incentive situation that we do in any of our parties, that it's never a one size fits all. It could have to do with what your calendar looks like, or certain things that you're trying to accomplish, or what feels like the right fit for that party. And you can change it up each time, whether it's you change the dollar amount that you offer for the booking or different things. So another question kind of on that same topic that came up. So you did mention though that you will offer that in that instant gratification point. So exactly kind of tease out a little bit more how you offer the incentive in the party if they book a party with you.
Host, am I frozen or am I okay?
You're okay now.
Okay, I should walk downstairs where my Wi-Fi is. I put it into the party post about hosting. Is in the template about host a party and get free books. I'll be the driver, and I'll say, and anyone that hosts a party through so-and-so or so, anybody that hosts a party will get free shipping, and then I'll put reimbursed in parentheses from so-and-so's party. So that's how I'll present it initially. But like I said, it's so much more effective to offer that one-on-one to them. So what I'll do, like in the screenshot, is I'll respond to comments on like the shopping post and say, hey, don't forget, like anyone that hosts a party will get free shipping on their order. Is that something you're interested in? And I do that too with like my VIP group, like on thank you posts. If people haven't joined yet and I'm thanking them from their order, I'll invite them again personally. Most people, I just feel like, I don't know what it is, like that first initial thing. Sometimes some people join, and then there's also a lot of people that don't. And when you give them that personal invite, it just really goes a long way, which is goes back to what we coach our hostesses to do, which is that personal outreach.
Yeah, that's so great. That's such a great tip. Okay, anyone else have any other questions? Again, if you submitted something through the Google form, I can't see it. So pop it in the chat if you have any other questions.
How do you mention?
Do you want to take that one?
Yeah, so I will bring that up further into my hostess coaching when I'm showing them the rewards chart. So I do a Google form for my hostessing details. So I give them a Google form, and it has in there like their name, their address, their phone number, their email. Will they invite one-on-one? I could share it in the comments of the replay, but it'll have the hostessing form in there, or sorry, the initial or the regular rewards chart in there. And so then when they let me know that they filled out the form, I'll say, awesome, here's the bonus chart for the month. So these kick in at this amount, but your booking credit kicks in at $100, $200, whatever. And they're always just like, that's awesome.
Yeah, I would say I think most people, if you use the qualifying party language, which can be super helpful in case you ever encounter a party that doesn't qualify, that generally I've found people just ask, what does a qualifying party mean? And again, this is where kind of like Blake was saying before, you get to cast the vision of how a qualifying party is totally doable, and you're going to help her make it happen. And so that's what I make sure to do. And I say, well, the party's going to qualify when you hit $100 in sales, but my average host, she gets at least $300 to $400 in sales. So we're going to hit that no problem. I'm going to walk you through every step of it. It's going to be great. And usually they're like, oh, okay. Cause half of them have wish lists that are $300 long, you know, so that they know that.
Yeah, it's just explaining it, I think, really friendly and not like those commercials that are like da, 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 with the fine print.
For sure. Okay, Tatiana asked, how often do you party?
Oh, it depends. Like I said, my husband, he's gone a lot, so it just depends on, I guess you would think I'd have like a regular thing with these bookings like a boss, but sometimes I don't aggressively pursue bookings. If I'm having a lot going on personally and I want to be able to coach my team too. So I would say at least 2 times a week, but sometimes it's more. So this next week I have 4. December I try to do a lot in those first 2 weeks that we party, because we just do those first 2 weeks. So I'll try to do like 6. But
yeah, take it back to your free fall challenge, everybody. create your calendar, set your party dates, know what works for your schedule. It's going to be different than Blake's. It's going to be different than anyone else's. Okay, we have time for like 1 or 2 more questions. Anybody else have any other questions that they want to ask Blake?
Maybe in the future hosts. So I will ask them, I will make a game plan to follow up with them and ask them, you know, would it be okay if we touch base at this point in time, whatever that is. Or if they're telling me like they want to in October and they're just like pretty dead set in that, then I'll say, okay, like, you know, would it be okay if I follow up on October 3rd or whatever random day? Or you can also sometimes ask, like, do you want to pencil something in? Pencil something in sounds so good to people because it's not like a big commitment. So I'll use that. I also do put them on a Trello board though, because, or whatever your system is, make sure you don't forget.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to do it. Okay, here's one last one. Do you ever offer an incentive to your current host to get more RSVP? So I guess like in the same vein of offering incentives to our hosts to get more RSVPs, do you offer incentives to your current host to partner with you to get more bookings?
It depends. It depends if they have had a booking incentive, like if they already are, you know, you want to be careful and keep track of how, you know, you only have $50 to work with. So it definitely depends on that. I don't do that super often, I'll be honest. I'm usually using that Party Bonus Books for a booking incentive. But if I haven't, like maybe they just got a $6 shipping and you know, they weren't a prize winner, they got free shipping for that instant gratification perk, and I have that to work with, you could use that for RSVPs, but you could also use it for your own little bonus. Like maybe they didn't make the monthly special, but they got one booking, you know, you could offer them $25 per booking per friend that books.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, I'm actually going to do one last one because we have like 2 minutes left that I saw that came in. So since you offer kind of an incentive in your parties, so like in your host post, then when you're going to one-on-one messages, if they haven't taken you up on that offer yet, how do you kind of sweeten the pot, so to speak?
Like if they just saw the general post about it.
Yeah, so like, you know, say for example, in your host post, you offer free shipping if they will book a party with you and they didn't take you up on that offer, but you're like, I still really want to get this girl to host. Do you then in your one-on-one messages go like, I'm going to bat for it and really offer something else in addition to that to get her? Or do you just mostly reinforce what she already could receive if she books a party with you?
So if they've already ordered, you could break it down. It's kind of like those people that are really good at getting you to open credit cards. They tell you like, are you sure you don't want to open a credit card? You'll save $50. You can be like, you know, you'll get this much back. I have done that. And that is like, oh, okay. And, you know, then they're like, well, show me the rewards, or well, you know, how does it work earning free books? And they're like, okay, that for $12 back and free books, I'm in. Or you could make them a prize winner, or you could just sweeten the pot and, I mean, you have that $50 bonus books and you can do what you totally want to. Or if you know like that they wanted a book that's out of stock, you know, make the out of stock crisis work for you. And you know, it's, you know, it looks like it's coming back in the next couple of weeks. You could say, you know, I'll throw that in for me. I guess that's kind of risky with it being out of stock, but, or a sequel book or another book in the collection that they bought. Or the other thing I didn't have in my presentation, but if you have a prize winner that maybe they don't go for the booking incentive and they want the mini book, you can re-give away that prize as a, you know, the runner up. So I don't announce that on the page publicly, but I'll message people like, you know, somebody else that seems like they'd be a really great host and say, hey, you know, one of our prize winners passed up on their prize and you're a runner up. it's a blah, blah, blah book credit for hosting a party.
That's great. That's really great. I like that. Okay, we have passed our time. It is 9 o'clock. So thank you all for joining us. Blake, thank you so much for our training tonight. Those were super helpful tips. And I know many of us that are in parties right now are already thinking, what are ways I can add vision? I could add instant gratification. I can get more personal in my messages with people to book even more parties and take that party snowball and just keep it rolling. So thank you so much for leading that training tonight. As soon as we get the replay, we will post replays and fun sheets for all of you to enjoy. So thanks for joining us tonight. We'll see you all here back next week. Bye, everybody.